Hello, and welcome once again to Marital Vows to Verdict. So, today, quickly, we are just going to talk about some of those basic things that you need to know or you need to do before you go to the marriage registry, before going to say I do, before going to append your signature on that your marriage certificate. And what are these things? These are things that some persons are already practicing it, and some don't, because most times we are blinded by love or with love. We are blinded by the infatuations, the excitement, the butterflies in our tummy. So then we fail to ask or we fail to carry out these necessary things. Now, in one of our videos, yes, if I could remember vividly, we talked about inquiries. We talked about how to go about making inquiries, asking questions before saying I do to that person. Now, all the out today is what you think marriage is all about. And the first thing we're going to talk about now, all the essence basically of this video is just to avoid these situations that people find themselves in, where after saying I do within the space of 1 month, 2 months, you begin to regret, oh, I never knew this was how marriage was, I wouldn't have gone into it. So we are going to discuss some of these realities versus dreams or imagine. The first thing we have to understand is while dating, that is when you make adjustments in your marriage. While dating, that is when you make some corrections that you want to be effective in your marriage. Now, most persons get it wrong because most times you don't do this correction at the relationship stage. You condone it, you accept it, you work with it, you believe we'll discuss it later, we'll get it over with later, and all that. And then when it gets to that stage of marriage, that is when you want the magic to begin to happen. It doesn't work that way. Most especially talking to the young ladies, most of us we've attained the age of marriage, and you believe, oh, I'm already 30 something, so I believe I should get married at this age. So whatever comes, you tolerate. Whatever happens, you accept it. And then when you get married, you assume that automatically these things should be able to work themselves out. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. That's why when you get married to your spouse, when you get married to that person, when it gets to the level of, oh, I don't want again, and you go to court, you want to file for divorce, you want to do this, you want to do that, sometimes it doesn't easily work out that way. Sometimes it doesn't easily work out that way. So that is what, when it comes to marriage, you need to make a conscious effort to be able to adjust, to be able to correct before you go into it. If your spouse has a character that he or she needs to work on, then you should be able to work on it before the marriage. Don't assume he knows when we get married, all those his female friends is keeping, he will stop it. No. At your relationship stage, that is when you're going to discuss these commitments. That is when you're going to discuss these boundaries. At your relationship stage is when you're going to discuss boundaries. Some person will say, oh, you're too jealous, you're acting too jealous. No, it's not about jealousy right now. It's not about jealousy. It's about what I can take. It's my feeling. So you need to make these things clear. Okay, you have female friends. Fine. I know them. Fine. The person comes around when I'm around. Fine. But when it's marriage, it's a different ballgame. So you need to set these boundaries before saying I do. You need to clear the air before saying I do. Most persons are blinded by love. Most persons are blinded by the feelings that they have at that spot. So even if this female friend, it's obvious, it's looking as if there is something going on between them. You say, oh, yeah, it's me he has chosen. So yeah, I know he'll stick with me. No, sometimes it doesn't work that way. There are a lot of stories which I don't want to bring here because most the next thing, so set boundaries. Now, the next thing we need to work on again is what behaviors are accepted. What behaviors are accepted. Do not condone to a behavior in a relationship, and then when you get to marriage, you automatically believe that that behavior will be worked on. Or no, you will let go of that behavior after we get married. It doesn't work that way. Whatever behavior you're noticing right now, you see this, I didn't know he was a liar, I didn't know he was this, these grounds don't stand for divorce in court. It doesn't. All these things I'm listing here, they are not grounds for divorce. He has a male friend. It is only when it shows that this person was unfaithful or this person is committing adultery, that is the only ground you can have. But because he keeps male friends, and I'm not cool with it, and I'm not okay with it, that is not a ground for divorce. That is not a ground for divorce. Oh, because there is this part of him that we have tried to work on. This is behavior. He snores while he sleeps. He eats and food is coming out of the side of his mouth. He drinks water and pours it on his body. She does this. She's dirty in the house. She's All these things are things you notice at your relationship stage. So what do? Work on it. Correct it. Effect those necessary corrections before saying I do. Oh, he's a stingy man. The court will not come and divorce you for saying the man is a stingy man. Some of us we define stinginess in different ways. Because my basic needs are not being met, then he's stingy. Or okay, no, he buys food in the house, so he buys everything. He pays school fees for the kids, so but he doesn't give me money for my personal use. That is not a ground for divorce. So if you want to correct that part of your husband, correct it at that relationship stage before you get to marriage. Marriage is a different thing entirely. Correct that part. Some people date a stingy man. He doesn't give you money. He doesn't take care of you. Maybe your basic needs. I'm not saying become a liability on any man. No, please. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying become a liability on any man. No, no. I encourage young ladies, make your money. Be financially independent. In the little way you can, do it. But there are some things. Oh, I have money. I want to buy this. Though the money for it is like, let's say, 200,000 naira, and then I have 100,000 naira, or I have 150. Can I get 50,000 naira to augment? It's a different ballgame. And then you say, can I get 50,000? And then he has it. And then he begins to give you excuses. The money I have, I have use for it too. I want to do this, so I want to do that too. And then you say, okay, fine. You understand with him. The next time he does the same thing. The next time he does the same thing. It keeps repeating itself. You should understand that, oh, it seems this one I'm dating is this type of person. So if you are okay with it in a relationship, don't come automatically expect him to change after marriage. So there are basic questions and basic things we need to understand before saying I do. Whatever you condone, whatever you accept, whatever you work with in the relationship stage is the same thing you will work with in marriage. It's not everybody that changes when they get into marriage. It's not everybody. Some people do, yes, good and fine. Some people, with the help of their faith, what they believe in, Christianity, Islam, whatever it is they believe in, yes, it works for them. They change. They listen to messages, they change. They turn a new leaf. But some people, they don't change. They don't. It's just the reality of life. It's just the reality of life. Imagine marrying a man. I know of a story of one young man. He wanted to get married to this young lady. And while in the relationship, he noticed some habits, and he felt like, okay, let's just these are habits that by the time we get married now, since we come, she would calm down, she will stop these things. Oh no, by the time she knows I've married her, she'll begin to wash clothes, she'll begin to wash plates. I do everything for her now, but by the time we get married, I'm sure she will change. But when they got married, the lady was expecting that since he was doing it during the relationship stage, he should be doing it at the marital stage. Now that they are married, he should be doing it. And that was where the first conflict started. Because he expected she should know that she's now your wife. So some of these domestic things, she should be doing them. And she said, no, since he has been doing this, pampering me, giving me the best, I believe that in this marriage now, I should do better. And I tell you, the marriage scattered because they couldn't cope. Another thing we need to talk about is compatibility. Yeah, this is where a lot of persons get it all wrong. There's a difference between love and compatibility. Love is that affection, that feeling. You could love someone, but you're not compatible with that person. Compatibility is a very, very important thing to consider when saying I do or before you say I do. Compatibility. If you are not compatible, you are always lockheads, you are always quarreling, you're not agreeing on basic things. Yes, I and my husband, we have some things that we don't agree on, and that's just a fact of it. Sometimes, see, I try to make him understand, he tries to make me understand, it doesn't work out. Do you know what we tell ourselves? Okay, I get your message. Okay, you, I got your own message. Fine, let's leave it that way. It doesn't come back tomorrow to haunt either of us. No, it's just that on that thing, we actually didn't agree on it. And so long as it is not that important for us to make a decision as regards our own personal life or as regards our family, we let it slide. It's not necessary. So compatibility is very, very important. Being on the same page is very, very important. Have your arguments. Fine, it's certain. We are see, you see one thing about marriage. This once in a while misunderstanding comes. It's not like you begin to scream, shout, quarrel, scold each other. No. Once in a while, this misunderstanding comes. What is a misunderstanding? When I don't understand what you're saying at that spot, when you don't get what me I'm saying at that spot, that is a misunderstanding. These things come, it happens. It happens, even if it is little, it happens. But then, when these things happen, you look for a way to do what? Fix it, adjust it, manage it. That is your home. That is the home you're intended to go into. Fix it. So, compatibility is important, it matters. Love cannot sustain marriage alone. That's the truth. Love cannot sustain marriage alone. Compatibility matters. So you need to be compatible. You need to have some agreement, some things you agree on together as a couple. You need to agree on something. From the relationship stage, you're already quarreling, having misunderstanding. So why are you still in it? Why are you still in that relationship? Why are you still in it? If you're not compatible, all these people you see, like I think in one of our videos, we actually talked about things that pushes people that before you know they begin to kill one another, hurt one another, afflict their partners. All these things are what makes it an issue. Lack of compatibility. Lack of compatibility. And then there are some myths. Yes, I remember there was one that my mom told me of, and she said there was a particular woman in our Compatibility is important. Look out for it. Look out for it. If the both of you are always arguing, always not agreeing, and you've tried all you could, you guys have prayed about it, you have met, you have counseled, you have gone for counseling, you have done everything, and it's not working, then I'm sorry. In marriage, it only takes the grace of God for the both of you to become one, or to begin to agree on a thing. Even the word of God made us to understand that can two work together unless they agree? Do you understand? So compatibility is important.